Well, thank you, everybody. My name is Joel Arnold. I'm a city planner from Flint and a proud alumni of the Michigan State School for Urban Planning. So I'm here tonight to talk about our housing crisis. And really, a lot of folks before me has talked about sort of the issues around this and the planning design of it. I'm here to talk a little bit about the political angle of it and what we're trying to do here in the state of Michigan to make a difference. So a lot of folks, I think, tend to think that the housing crisis is something that faces big, rich coastal metros or fast-growing, medium-sized cities like Ann Arbor. But as somebody who lives in Flint and Genesee County, this is really hitting all of our communities. Some communities are seeing homelessness rise 50%. We're seeing a state shortage of 190,000 units of housing. And these are rising rents between both here in Washtenaw County, where we've seen rents more than double in the last 10 years, and in Genesee County, where I'm from, rents increasing more than 30%. And we've had inflation, but we haven't had that kind of inflation, right? This is something where housing is getting less and less accessible for more and more people. But it's not just limited to rent. We're seeing median home prices skyrocket to such a point that here in Washtenaw County, we see house prices sitting at a median of $400,000, even where I'm from, approaching $200,000, and in some parts of our communities, seeing average sale prices hit $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 or more in the state of Michigan. So this is not just a California problem. And how do we fix this, right? There's no one way to fix a housing crisis. There's a bunch of different ways that all have to work together at the same time. And what I'm here to talk about tonight is zoning and really the kind of political movements that we're seeing across the country to address the issues that are created by zoning. And you guys here in Ann Arbor are already doing a great job at leading the state of Michigan in some of these changes. So obviously, as has been discussed over the last 100 years, we've kind of cut out building everything you see in the middle of this and have said that there's kind of two types of housing we'll let get built. Either 50-unit apartment buildings or more, or detached single-family houses. When we know that the kinds of housing in the middle are the kinds of things we built in our past, and they're a lot more affordable to rent to own. Fortunately, in a lot of other states, we're seeing movements around this, and it's not partisan, right? We're seeing Montana, California, Vermont, Oregon, New York, all have organizations dedicated to pushing their state legislators and state officials to encourage more housing construction of different types by right. And again, just to highlight how this is a nonpartisan movement, we've seen everybody from Elizabeth Warren to the governor of Montana hop on board with the importance of this, and even a bill in our Congress right now sponsored by a Republican from Indiana and a Democrat from Hawaii to encourage more housing construction and this larger yes in my backyard movement. As was mentioned earlier by Kirk, fortunately, we know, thanks to a host of research, including things from just this past year, about 2 months ago, that building more housing is not what drives up costs. We know what drives up costs is when people want to live in a place and we refuse to make space for them. So what we need to be doing is making sure that we're increasing the housing supply so that people who want to live in our communities can do so. Fortunately, across Michigan, there are people who are doing this. We've heard from folks who are affiliated with Strong Towns. There's a group that I'm in Flint called Flint Residents for Stronger Neighborhoods. Oakland County has a YIMBY chapter, which is crazy to think about in a place like Oakland County. And this is all to say that there are political efforts in our state that are in a lot of municipalities, but we have kind of lacked this sort of statewide entity, which is why I'm here to share and hope you guys will join us in the Michigan Coalition for Housing, MiCH, you see what we did there, and centered on these core values of sustainability, justice, equity, and importantly, we talk about housing belonging and the ability to belong in a place, and that's what increasing housing supply gives us. So if you are interested in getting part of this statewide organization dedicated to lobbying with legislators for housing-friendly policies, advocating for upzoning across our state, there will be a meeting on Sunday. I've got handouts, Sunday, February 11th, that you all can take. You don't got to write this down. But if you want to be a part of this organization, we have our email. We have monthly meetings. A lot of folks here in Ann Arbor have been a part of it. But we need to grow this. We need to make sure that we're applying pressure to people at the state level to realize that we can't just throw money at this problem. We also need to change our land use laws in Michigan. So I hope you'll join us and be a part of a solution in this state. Thanks so much.